Positive why?
I'm Brandy Gratton, proud principal at the Sam L. Martin Middle School here in Austin, Texas. The pandemic was tough. It was a challenge for sure. I saw teachers and staff taking the opportunity during lessons while there was that virtual learning for students to be able to have opportunities to connect on kind of a social emotional learning scale. Yes, there was the content, right? And that's important. But I also saw teachers and staff connecting with students in doing check-ins. I even had a friend from a neighboring district who messaged me on social media during the time that all of this was happening. And she said, wow, I'm seeing what Austin ISD is doing for students to have access to technology, but not just the access to the devices, the access to the internet that will power the devices. So that infrastructure being available for students. And we saw our staff that was at central office working quick, fast, and in a hurry to do everything that they could to make sure that students had the access and the capabilities of accessing their learning, but most importantly, accessing people. And that's what we needed during the pandemic.
I know how to do it.
A -2 divided by a -3, so that...
Oh, wait, no, that's fine.
My name is Laura Browder, and I am the Director of Technology Integration. I think the biggest piece that we focused on when we thought about what our students needed throughout the pandemic was connection. And whether that be connection to their campus, connection to their teachers, connection to fellow students, or connection to the curriculum. And so we really looked at what could technology do to help foster that connection. And so the big pieces that we looked at in partnership with everyone across the district were how could we get devices to students, how could we get connectivity to students if they needed it and didn't have it at home, and then additionally, how could we keep them connected to their curriculum, their learning experiences, and their teachers through our learning management system and our other digital platforms. When we think about our resources in technology, a lot of the pieces that were really vital during the pandemic were provided through our 2017 bond. All of the devices we were able to provide to students and hand out through our campuses or through our curbside events or delivered directly to students' houses in some cases. Early on in the pandemic, we had buses who were dropping off devices and sometimes hotspots directly to students' houses, and we couldn't have done that without the bond, and then also without partnership with federal grants and emergency funds that came out of COVID and the pandemic were really essential to ensuring that we were able to provide in partnership with our community what our students needed.